ndewonu. Anyị abịakwala ọzọ n'ụbọchị taa. Welcome. Ana m anabata mmadụ niile. All right. Daalụkwanụ. Setting up my... Okay. Give me a moment. All right. We're here again. All right. Daalụkwanụ. Dịka anyị na-abata ka anyị na-ekesa nkụzi anyị nwere ebe a taa. Let's do it. Welcome you all. Thank you. Ndị YouTube, ndị TikTok, ndewonu. Mmadụ niile daalụnụ. Aha. Nwada Success Ogechi Ọhaegbulem. Mr. Redemption. Ndị m na-akpọpụta aha ha na ndị m na-enweghị ike ịkpọpụta aha. Adeze Dunya, you're welcome. Sharona, unabiala e. Adeze Dunya, I hope you know that what we'll say when people come in, people visit us. We say unabiala e. Unabiala. Unu is a word for you people. You people. You in plural, or I would say you plural. Okay. We're saying barriers. Mana, if it is one person will say E Biala, and it's always a question. Okay, so uno Biala, but when we are doing uno, we are now going to change the structure of this part of the sentence. Kelechi Dalo, or it will now become unu abiala. You see, we now add a here, and it becomes unu abiala. Kelechi Dalo, o ndewo. Chukwu gozie gị maka ihe anyị okoko osisi rose. All right. We're just beginning. We're just starting. If you're on TikTok, please start tapping on the screen for us and share this live. Those on YouTube are doing same. And let's start promoting the program. let's start promoting the live, please. Ka anyị nwee ike ịkpọbata ụmụnna anyị ka anyị chetara ha na oge erugo oge ọzọ eji amụ Igbo. We're here. There's going to be a lot of conversation in today's class, so I welcome you all. Have to do more. Ndewo biko ọ bụrụ na ị bụ nwa afọ Igbo ị nwere aha TikTok ịbata, I would appreciate ka ị dere m aha gị, ezigbote aha gị. If you are Igbo, are you speaking it to us, English speaker? I'm speaking both English and Igbo. This is Igbo class, okay? So if you are an Igbo person and you have Igbo name, but that is not what is on your TikTok, when you come in, please let me know your Igbo name so that I will address you appropriately. Good. All right, this is a class where we have people from different linguistic backgrounds who have vested interest in learning our language because of their affiliation, their connection with our culture. So, Ana Mekelunu, I welcome you all. Right, and the short presentation or demonstration I made is part of what we are looking at, what we are talking about in our class, how the Igbo sentence is structured and how we can write it well. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Coco Comics, Dalo. It is not easy to put additional hats upon my hat, my cultural hat. God bless you, Coco Comics, for that hat. Thank you. Seku Foods, I feel you. Osama, Dalokwano. Appreciate you all. And it's going to be an awesome moment again. Yes, Coco Comics. So the way you write it is emailer. Okay, aga m achọ ka idegharịa ya ka ide ya ụta. Okay, I like you to write it this way. It is good to see you all try to express yourself in Igbo, to write Igbo so that you learn. Oh, I did not unmirror. Thank you. Forgive me. Thank you, Seku Foods, my monitoring spirit. All right. Thank you. Okay. Emailer, Coco Comics. I want to see you write it that way, okay? Right. And this is part of the reason we are learning. Thank you for the roses, for the roses, for the roses, for the roses. Aha. Adeze doing a dalo o favor. Ndewo. Okay. Aga m ebido site na ide ụbọchị taa ka esi ede ya nke ndị bekee na-akpọ date. I'll start by writing the date of today in Igbo. So this is how I will write date in English first, by saying today is 3rd 9 2026, right? And in words, so in Igbo I need the date both the way it is as well as writing it in words. I welcome you all. Please keep tapping on the screen. If you are on TikTok, please go ahead and share. Bring people here. Ọ bụrụ na ị nwere mmasị ịmụta Igbo, ịbụ nwa afọ Igbo, whether amụrụ gị na mba, n'ala bekee, n'obodo oyibo, n'ofesi, ma amụrụ gị n'ụlọ, ya bụ na ị machaghị Igbo asụ, ị maghị ka esi ede ọfụma, ị maghị ka esi asụ, ebe a bụ ebe anyị na-amụ Igbo. Ohere dịrị gị ịmụta asụsụ anyị ka ị wee hapụ ịbụ iso na ndị a na-akpọ ndị eriri eri, ndị ofeke. For those of you that are not Igbo, who have interest in learning our language, we appreciate you. We are so proud of you that you find it a thing of interest. You find our language interesting. You find us as people that you have joy relating with. Yes, Stephanie Oko, I know the people that attend my class are over 80% people like you who are Igbo but are learning to speak. So you're welcome, Stephanie. Ndewo, dalo. Only one pre. Ana m ekele gị, dalo. Right. So that is why I try to speak English when I'm teaching Igbo. It is beautiful to be bilingual. It is not good to speak one language, and that language you are speaking is the one, is not your native language. So that is what many of us experience. That is how we have found ourselves. Many of us who are Igbo but are born outside of Igbo land. Right. Jen, hi, achọrọ m learn Igbo. Okay. Jen, ị na-agbalị, ndewo, daalụ. Jen, ihe ị ga-edebe ahụ bụ achọrọ m ịmụta Igbo. Achọrọ m ịmụta Igbo. So, Jen, I want you to write it the way I have written it, okay? What you mean is that I want to learn Igbo. Can you correct yourself by writing what I wrote? Beautiful, Stephanie Oko. Achọrọ m ịmụta Igbo. My Igbo name is Chidimma. Thank you, Jen, for letting me know that. Okay, right. Igbo Nwafọ Igbo, please put your name down if your name is not written on your account. Right. Ana m anabata ndị niile na-esoro anyị na YouTube. Right. And then as well as TikTok. Ndewo Chidimma. Achọrọ m ịmụta Igbo. You see, as I wrote it, the M is separate. Just want you to take note of that, okay? Right. Lola, you're welcome. I welcome you all. Courageous Omi. Ndewo obi dị m ụtọ ịhụ gị batara ụnyaahụ na nkụzi nke m kụziri. Nedema, the correct word, but my mom spells it. Okay, I like this topic. Right. Stephanie Oko, please, can you tell your mom to spell your name correctly? I like it that you know the correct spelling of your name. You know, it's a good thing that you are standing for the correct spelling of your name. That is beautiful. Nzeke, Tifi Tope, we're going to come to that. I don't know what that name means, okay? So, Nedema is supposed to be Ne Dema, even though you might not see the dots down, okay? Not Ne Dema. We have treated this in the class, so I'm glad you brought it up. Stephanie, okay? Thank you so much. All right. Yes, please do tell her. Christy KW, Ginowahi Bogi, you said that my son is Jidenna. Jidenna is correct. Enwere nwa anyị nọ ya n'ebe a anyị letere mgbe gara aga aha ya bụ Jidenna. Nne m, I hope Jidenna na-asụ Igbo. I hope all my Igbo asụ. Yes, Jen, I do this every week, not every day. I teach every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. I teach Sundays, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. The rest of our content can be found on YouTube and TikTok. Your husband is Onowa. Onowa. Beautiful. Onowa. Chrissy. Chrissy, what is your own name? All right. Ana m anabata mmadụ niile. Right, so if you are here for the first time, we're here every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Our YouTube, our TikTok, our Facebook is Omenka app. Omenka app. And I was about introducing that to us. So the class is brought to you by Omenka app. And this is Igbo Literacy Project. This is a project designed to teach all Igbo sons and daughters, to bring us back, to enculturate us. All right, Christian, thank you. It's good to have you here, okay? All right, Chigo, you are not here for the first time. I know you very, very well. My family is from Anambra. Okay, beautiful. You're welcome, Nedema. That's your Igbo name. So our class is brought to you by Omenka app, and we are operating on the platform of Igbo Literacy Project, a project we designed to enculturate all Igbo sons and daughters, especially those born overseas, born outside of Igbo land, those who were not exposed to Igbo language early in their life. Thank you, Ikenna. Nwanna ndewo o Chukwu gọzie gị maka onyinye ọma ahụ nke i nyere. Chigod nwanyị ọma daalụ o ya dịkwara gị na mma. Right, so we want to make sure that we do not lose our language, we do not lose our culture, but we also know that the forces that are working against the Igbo race does want to snuff out our cultural identity from us. That is why we are doing everything it takes to enculturate ourselves, to re-indoctrinate ourselves, especially the younger ones, into the language and cultural knowledge. Thank you, Nemesis. Daalụ o Chukwu gọzie gị maka onyinye afọma nke i nyere anyị. Biko unu na-abata na-emetro na ya aka n'akara ịhụnanya, that is tapping on the screen for us, and mee ka nkụzi anyị na-akụzi gbasaa ebe niile. Share. If you're on YouTube, on TikTok, share. Please, it is important for more Igbo people, young persons, to be here and learn from the class and the project that we have. So Omenka app is available on your Play Store and Apple Store. So this is your first time, please go ahead and download Omenka app right now on your Play Store and your Apple Store. Okay, it is very, very important. Now, nkuzi anyị na-akụzi bụ nke na-enyere ndị na-amụ Igbo aka. Okay, our class helps Igbo learners. All right, Chigo. Nkuzi anyị na-akụzi, thank you, Nemesis. Gịnị bụ aha Igbo gị? I believe you are Igbo. Share your Igbo name with me, okay? With us, brother. So our class is so beneficial for Igbo learners from the basics. But our app, Omenka app, is much more beneficial for you. Abebe, thank you for sharing. Sunrise, Ahambu, Chizotam, Sunrise, Chizotam, Dalo. Good to have you here. And I would ask you to rewrite it this way. Sunrise, say Ahambo, Chizotam. All right, you must make this M to stand on its own, okay? I want you to correct it and write it that way, okay? And what I'm after is for you to write the M to stand on its own. And that is one of the things we're learning in this class. Beautiful. Chizotam, Ebo, Ezbote nwa akwụkwọ. Kọrọ onwe gị aka, oh. All right. Mmadụ niile ka anyị kọrọ no Chizotam aka. He has written it correctly. All right. So if you download our Omenka app, you are going to find it as a very, very useful resource for learning Igbo as a beginner. Okay. Then, in addition to coming to class, in abia class I ụbọchị Monday niile ejiri ọkụ elekere mbụ nke ehihie ma ọ bụ ụbọchị Sọnde niile mgbe o jiri ọkara gaa elekere 5 nke mgbede nke ọwụwa anyanwụ America. That is 1 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. on Sunday Eastern Time, which translates to, I believe, 6 p.m. Nigerian time and 10:30 p.m. Nigerian time. All right. Thank you. We have been doing this for the past few months. We have been doing this for close to 6 months now, close to. And we have been seeing a lot of people come here to testify how the class is useful to them. My name is Dr. Ima Asonye Nedema. I believe that you should have seen that on my intro when you joined. I didn't know if it didn't read. So my name is Dr. Ima Asonye. I have explained akọwagoro my ihe aha nna m pụtara, the meaning of my last name. I have explained that to us here. Ikwa Mesi Dalo, I think this is my first time of seeing your name on YouTube. Yeah. I think I have you for the first time there. Ikwa Mesi Bunwoke Bunwai, I believe you are a man. Let me know. All right. So I am the leader of Omenka app, and I have people working with me, and we have both Igbo and non-Igbo people working on Omenka app. Somebody like Adeze Dunya is not Igbo by birth, is not even African, but she is one of those doing the work we are doing. Mikwa Messi, no. Is it that you are not a man, or is it that this is not your first time? All right. So I welcome you all. I really, really welcome us. So please let us begin to engage right now as the class begins. Call me DC. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Adeze Dunya. We really do love you too. Call me DC. Right. So please, if you have not downloaded Omenka app, go ahead and do that immediately. Let me start again by writing today's date in Igbo. And this is how we do it. We say Obochi, which is date, okay? Equivalent to date. I can write it that way. And I will say Tabo Abale Itolu N'ọnwa nke atọ n'afọ 2026. And then I will go ahead to write 2026 as n'afọ puku. That is 2006. Puku abụọ iri abụọ na isii. That is how we write dates in, okay, looks like not everything is not showing well here. Okay, right. Puku abụọ iri abụọ na isii. All right. Yeah. That is how we write dates in Igbo. So, I want you to repeat after me. Abalị itoolu n'ọnwa nke atọ n'afọ puku abụọ iri abụọ na isii. Abalị itoolu. Yes. Abalị itoolu meaning 9th, because we say the day first, right? 9th of the 3rd month in the year 2026 or in the year 2026. 2026. That is how I write it in Igbo. Puku abụọ iri abụọ na isii. Ikenna, kere ebe ịchọ ka m tinyere kom? Puku abụọ. Ekwesịghị inwere kom ọbụla ebe ahụ. Iri abụọ na isii. Duchess Helen, daalụ o. Kedu, how are you? All right. Abalị itoolu n'ọnwa nke atọ n'afọ puku abụọ. Duchess, I want you to correct yourself by writing it imeela. I want you to write it that way. Ide ya otu ahụ ị ga-echefu. Ị ga-ede ya otu ahụ ị dere ya ọzọ. Maazị Akabueze, ana m ekele gị, daalụ. You're welcome. Duchess, good. Kọrọ onwe gị aka. Ka anyị kọrọ na Duchess aka, o detela ya imeela. Whenever we write it, we should recognize this as a pronoun. Duchess, daalụ o. We do not write pronouns together with the verb. Right. Good. The villain, ndewo. These are your people. We are here for you. Ndewo nenye. Nenye, daalụ o. We see you. Ha kọrọla gị, unu kọrọ na Duchess aka, biko nunu. Duchess chọka akọrọ aka. Everywhere you are, ndị YouTube, TikTok. Let's clap for Duchess. O detere ya. All right. Ndewonu. So, we just wrote the date in Igbo. Usekwu Foods. Nwanyị ọma. Daalụ. Abalị itoolu. Itoolu is 9. N'ọnwa nke atọ n'afọ puku abụọ iri abụọ na isii. If you are here, you are an Igbo learner, Igbo born, you are growing up overseas or anywhere outside of Igbo land. After this class, somebody is asking, is this emailer the same thing with well done? No. Emailer directly, simply put, is thank you. Kelechi daalụ o. It is thank you. Etu ndị Igbo si ekwu well done n'Igbo gụnyere ihe pụtara okwu ga-apụta okwu ndị ọzọ. Well done, the better way to say it is jisike. Okay? Jisike now means well done. Jisike means keep working hard. Jisike means more strength to you and all of that. Just like we have Ndewo, which is encompassing. So emailer is simply Dalo Mob Ndewo, which is also thank you. Right. You have done well is well done. Okay. Ndewono. For you who are coming for the first time, this is Igbo Literacy Project brought to you by Omenka app, and Omenka app is available on your Play Store and Apple Store. If you are an Igbo learner, this is the right place for you. Choma Dalo. If you are an Igbo learner, Amwada Sale, I see you. This is a place for you to get enculturated. Especially okay, and you really love to connect with your culture, your linguistic heritage. This is a place. But I would love for you to start by downloading Omenka app immediately while the class is going on. And that's why I greet you. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Chama. Appreciate you all for the roses. I don't know. Let's keep. Thank you for the money. Let's keep sharing. Let's keep tapping on the screen, and let's promote the teaching we're having here. There are hundreds of thousands of Igbo born. Thank you for the multiple roses, Kelechi. Hundreds of thousands, if not in millions, of young Igbo people born outside of Igbo land. struggling with their language, you are our primary target. We want to help you inculturate. There are also hundreds of Igbo teachers who are struggling with knowing how to write Igbo, but they are teaching in the school, teaching our own children Igbo, but they don't know how to write it. And they cannot learn without anybody teaching them correctly. For whatever reason, they found themselves in the classroom teaching Igbo, but not knowing how to write it. That is the problem we are here to solve. So our goal and our target is well defined. Okay? Ihe anyị chọrọ ime bụ ịkụziri ịgbazi olu ndị na-amụ amụ ka esi asụ ụmụafọ Igbo ndị amụrụ na mba, nyere ha aka ka ha mụta Igbo, bụrụ ụmụafọ Igbo ndị ọ ga-abụ ajụọ ha Igbo onye, ebee ka isi, ha eji ọnụ ha kwupụta na mbụ nwafọ Igbo, mere nganga nọ n'elu ya. Nke ọzọ wee bụrụ ndị nkụzi Igbo ndị na-amaghị ka esi ede Igbo, mana ha na-aga ụlọ akwụkwọ ụbọchị niile wee na-akụzi Igbo. They are teaching our Igbo children, but they do not know how to write the language. Do you not think it is a misnomer? Do you not think it's a problem? We consider this a problem. And the reason is because there are people who found themselves in the class, but they do not know what else to do with the job that they have got. They are being paid for it, but they're not doing it rightly because they do not have the required background or required background training for that job. So please, this is what we are doing here under the project, Igbo Literacy Project. If you are here for the first time, you like what you're doing, show that you do. Thank you, Kelechi. Thank you so much. Show that you do. Go ahead and tap on the screen for us. If you have gifts, like our sister Kelechi, God bless her, and other people giving gifts, go ahead. If you're on TikTok, share the live and let us have as many more thousands of Igbo born here. We need to educate, inculturate ourselves. Right. Okay, Ayedela Obochita. We have written the date. I hope you all have known how to write the date today, especially those that are coming for the first time. And if you have been here in the past, you know that 2000, yeah, iri abụọ, 2000 is puku abụọ, iri abụọ is 20, na isi is 6. That is correct. Titi Tope. Titi Tope, you are Yoruba. I'm wondering how you are able to, write what you're writing, but I commend that. Everybody on TikTok learn from Titi Tope. Unless you are Igbo Yoruba, but I appreciate your efforts. Okay, thank you. Right, so Obona Tabumbo in a crossbreed. I thought as much. So what is your Igbo name if you do have one? This is your first time of knowing how to write a date in Igbo. Please, after the class, share the joy with your parents, with your family. Tell them, I know how to write date in Igbo. At least if you don't know any other one, write this one for them. If you didn't learn anything else today, whatever life may have, brought to your way, this is something to go home with. How to write date in Igbo. Right. Okay. Isiokwu anyị na-eleba anya kamgbe ụbọchị ole na ole bụ isiokwu nke akpọrọ Ahịrịokwu Igbo. The topic we've been looking at for the past few days is a topic Ahịrịokwu Igbo, which we can translate in English as aspects of Igbo sentence. aspects. And in these aspects, our aim is to dissect Igbo sentence and help us understand how it works. For those of you that are new to our class, we started this class by dissecting Igbo words. But at some point in our teaching, we made a decision that there are Igbo words that we cannot just discuss completely in isolation. We must put them in a sentence for the discussion of those words to be complete. And that is what we are trying to do. So we had to migrate into the discussion of the sentences. And knowing that, we bear in mind that we did not jump phrases and maybe clauses, because we know we're going to be carrying this along. Okay, Dalo Wada Sale. Right. So I welcome everybody once again. We are looking at the aspects of Igbo sentence. And when we started a couple of weeks ago, we were able to define what a sentence is in the traditional definition of sentence in grammar. Okay. And aga m asị na ihe sentence ahịrịokwu pụtara wụ ya na ihe ọ pụtara n'Igbo na ihe ọ pụtara na Bekee wụ otu ihe ahụ. They are just the same thing. Okay. The idea, Shade, thank you for the gift. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right. So what the sentence means in Igbo is the same thing that it means in English, like similar concept, okay? And that what it means is that we have a group of words that have a subject and a finite verb, okay? And when we are looking at the sentence, we are looking at those group of words. What is that group of words that we are considering? It is those words in a sentence that we're looking at. So n'izu gara aga, last week, simple sentence, and that's what we're going to start again today. We are going to look at Ahịrịokwu, which means simple sentence. Ahịrịokwu. As I teach you, I want you to be learning the words one after the other. If you are a beginner in the learning of Igbo language, if you are a new learner, a beginner learner, please try and learn the word one after the other. To help you more, download Omenka app. Most of the words that you hear me use are on Omenka app. Omenka app is on Play Store and on your Apple Store. When you download and create an account, it is going to lead you to one of the most basic aspects of the app, which is a word search section, where you are going to see lots and lots of Igbo words. Tamara, you're welcome. Ndewo, Tamara. Dalo. So you're going to see lots and lots of Igbo words that you're going to learn. And the beautiful thing is that we put audio to every word. So the app is going to help you pronounce while you mimic the pronunciation. Okay? And you know that Igbo is a tonal word, tonal language, right? Yeah, go ahead. Igbo is a tonal language, and the tone makes a lot of difference. Okay, I teach standard Igbo, I write standard Igbo, I speak central Igbo, and that is what we encourage people to use. And but we also encourage people to speak their dialects when they are speaking with their kinsmen, people from their different tribe. Speak your dialect, or rather from their different communities. But when you are speaking with people of other communal origin, you can come up to a more central Igbo, and that helps us to create what we call mutual intelligibility. That is speaking what everybody would, to a large extent, understand. All right. So go ahead and download the Omenka app. Right. So mgbe anyị na-eleba anya n'ahịrị mfe, when we are looking at the simple sentence, it has a subject. And we have always used the subject, Obi. Obi, dịka anyị hụrụ ya n'izu gara aga, Obi gara ahịa. Which means Obi went to the market. Obi gara ahịa, which means Obi went to the market. Does ngwa have multiple meaning? Is it? Oh, ngwa. Yeah, ngwa has multiple meaning. My aunt will always say ngwano or ngwano, ngwano. That is really a tricky one a little bit. Ngwa, ngwano, ngwano. Okay, that's fine. All right. So ngwa it has multiple meaning. Now I will take them one after the other. Ngwa is a one-word command, a one-word sentence. And when I say ngwa, I can just say ngwa when I'm giving you something to mean take. Okay? That is one meaning we can derive from ngwa. Ngwa. When I say ngwa, but I'm giving you something to take. I can say ngwa when I want you to let us go. When I want you to start going. We want to leave. Ngwa. When I do ngwa with my gestural communication, the context of leaving, either going out of the house or going back to the house, is good. Yes. Thank you, Useku Foods. It is ngwa, let us go. Ngwa in the context, like Useku Foods explained, could be in that context, ngwa, we will see another time. Okay? I don't need to finish it. It's ngwa. Okay? All right. Or bye, ngwa. But we add ngwano to create some emphasis, especially like you said, Kelechi, ngwano. Ngwano comes in when we are saying bye. Ngwano, you may or may not say kodi. And I want to put the tone. Ngwa. Why I'm putting the tone is to help you understand. Yes, like, okay, then see you next time. Ngwa, hi, hi, ngwa. Okay? Then, ngwa, no, hi, hi, hi. When no comes in, it depicts emphasis, but it also depicts when you are either saying bye, it depicts motion, like calling in motion, movement. It's either that you are leaving the person that you are with, or you are calling someone to let's go. Ngwano. Okay. Ngwano is let's begin. That's another meaning. Ngwano. Let's begin. When you use ngwano, you don't need to say anything else. But then ngwa no. Ngwa no now brings in plural. And it is arguable ngwano is derived from ngwa unu. And because this ends in a, this will assume the o instead of u. Okay? Ngwa unu, which means You people, let us. You people, let us. You can as well use ngwano when you are saying bye to a group of people. Note the tone now, it changes. The reason is because no is a pronoun. Is derived from a pronoun. Ngwa no is supposedly derived from ngwa uno. And whatever context you are speaking to, you are speaking that to a pluralized individuals. That means you are speaking to more than one person. Okay? Right. Ejimaka na ịghọtara nkọwa ahụ. I believe it was Kelechi or Tamara that asked the question. Right. Ana m anabata ndị niile na-esonye anyị ka m na-akọwa okwu ahụ. If you are just joining us for the first time, you're welcome. If you're joining us as I'm speaking, you're welcome. Please keep tapping on the screen for us and share the live program if you know that this is something that is worth staying for. And this is Igbo, and we're teaching Igbo language and culture here. And the class is brought to you by Omenka app. And Omenka app is available on your Play Store, it's available on your Apple Store. Please download it for a better assistance in helping you to learn Igbo. Thank you. Please keep tapping on that screen for us. Go ahead, go ahead. All right, thank you so much. So, anyị na-eleba anya na ahịrịokwu mfe. Ọmụmaatụ ya bụ Obi gara ahịa. I wee na-aghọta na n'ime Obi gara ahịa, we have a subject here. We have a subject. N'Igbo, ihe a na-akpọ subject bụ gịnị? Isi ahịrị, isi ahịrị. We have it here. For those of you learning Igbo as Igbo born outside, please try and be picking. Thank you, Adeze, doing it. Try and be picking up the words that I'm dropping and their meanings. And what I want you to do is, if you do not understand anyone, call me back. Okay? Call back and I will explain. Isi ahịrị, the meaning is subject. So, and then we have the verb here, which is a simple or what they call finite verb. Thank you, Ike. Thanks for the multiple roses. Then we have this object here. And for verb is ngwa. And this is what we'll call nara. Okay. Right. So we made a sentence. Thank you, Peter. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thanks for the multiple roses. Dalo. All right. So Obi gara ahịa bụ ihe anyị hụrụ n'izu gara aga, right? Obi went to the market. We see it here. And Peter, you say you speak Igbo. Are you not Igbo? Kimik, thanks for the rose. I know, Peter, this is the right place for you. Over 80% of people that come to my class are Igbo born overseas. Igbo born in America, Igbo born in the UK and Canada, and even those that are born in Nigeria who have no clue about how Igbo language works because their parents did not introduce them. And then I will also pause to say the thing I usually say in my class. If you are Igbo born overseas, if you are Igbo born outside of Igbo, your parents did not introduce you to the language, you did not get the connection early in life, okay? Beautiful. That is the right place for you, Peter. Right. Good. Peter, get a Igbo. So if you find yourself in this group of people this is the right place for you. And Omenka app, Udoka, Dalon, Nam. And Omenka app is available to help you learn Igbo more appropriately, okay? But what I say to the people that come to this class is, you do not have any excuse staying away from the connection with your language. You do not have any excuse not to learn Igbo because you are now grown. Unfortunately, your parents did not introduce you, but you are now an adult. Supposedly, you can introduce yourself. And the most beautiful aspect of it is that we are living in a digital world, in the era of social media where resources abound. But my only caveat, my fear with resources is not all resources are appropriate for you. Not all resources, 100 healings, Odema mana etisideya ideteya, and I'm going to write it correctly for you, and I would like you to write it correctly as well. I'm going to pause to do that, okay? All right. 100 healings wrote Kedo Kimer, and what he wants to write is Kedo Ka Imere. And it's a question. So I want you to write it that way. 100 healings. Kedo Ka Imere. And I want you to tell us your Igbo name, okay? All right. Thank you, Useku Foods. Kedo Ka Imere. So Achamehu Ka Idezie. Right. So I was saying, thank you, Jen. Thank you as well. I was saying, it is now left for you to enculturate yourself. Nobody is there for you to blame. It is now left for you to reconnect with your cultural and linguistic knowledge that you missed as a child. Beautiful, Peter. You got it as well. The resources that are available there, many of them, sincerely, in terms of writing Igbo, are not appropriate because of the problem of many people, Igbo speakers, who do not know how to write Igbo, even though they teach it. In terms of spoken Igbo, yes, they are wonderful resources that people produce online. You can follow those. But in terms of writing, I am a researcher. I have taken time to go around several different, thank you, Jack Stack 247 Dalo. I have gone around several content that I do see online. Just a few are good in writing Igbo. That is why we are so motivated in what we are doing. Making this class be available, constantly accessible for all Igbo learners. Mgbe m bidoro, I was speaking more Igbo in my class than English because the people that started earlier were more Igbo speakers fluently. But as time went on, I found out through the algorithm and analytics of my live program that I keep having more non-speaking Igbo born. Those who are not fluent, who may not understand me if I say 70% of things in Igbo. And that is why I'm speaking more English to you, so that you have no excuse. I would have preferred to teach my class in Igbo, everything. Okay? But because of you making this sacrifice to speak more in English so that you follow and learn something in this class. And I want you to make it a habit to learn Igbo. This is a platform for you. But more importantly, download the Omenka app. It will help you greatly. Thank you. All right. Thanks for all the gifts. Thanks for all the shares. Please keep tapping on the screen for us. We must improve the algorithm of our class so that more people will know we are here and they will join. If there's nothing else you can do to help, please tap on the screen, especially if you're on TikTok. Tap on the screen for us. Improve the presence of this class online. There are lots and lots of Igbo born like you who are looking for a place that will help them connect appropriately to their language. And if you have found this class, please show your brother or your sister. Ndị Igbo na-asị, ọ bụ na mmadụ hụ ụzọ dị mma, ya ọkọrọ nwanne ya. Ụzọ ọzọ ha na-eji ekwu ya bụ na ụzọ dị mma aga ya ugboro abụọ. When you find a new road that is good, you go and bring your brother or your sister, and you people will go back that path. When you find a new path, you go and call your people, you show them the path. It is a way of community. And Ali Igbo, we value community so much. Yanwa mere Igbo ji na-asị, gidi gidi bụ ugwu eze. Gidi gidi bụ ugwu eze. Ụzọ ọzọ Igbo ji ekwu ya bụ na anyụkọ mmamịrị ọgbọ ụfụfụ. Anyụkọ mmamịrị ọgba ụfụfụ. Ya agba ụfụfụ. So whichever way you say it, it all means we need one another to promote and grow our community. And for the context of this class, that is what that means. Ndewono. All right, Theophilus. Okay. Mgbe anyị hụrụ Obi gara ahịa, anyị si na ọ bụ ahịrị mfe is a simple sentence. If you look at it, you find out that it's in the past. Obi went to the market, and the next thing we did, starting from last week, was to see another way we can write this, because Obi gara ahịa, Obi went to the market is a past, and we constructed the gara from putting R-A or Re-A at the back of the verb ga, and that is just it. Okay, Obi went to the market. That is what Obi did. All right, now we now say, since I'm the one speaking to you and I have introduced Obi, the person of Obi, to you, right? You now know who Obi is or what he did. By this singular sentence, you know the action that went on, which is the action of Obi going to the market, right? And I want to tell you what Obi did in the market. And the traditional rule of the grammar has it that Adakyu Kedo Ndewo, thanks for joining us. And actually, me ihe wee sị Obi zụtara akara n'ahịa, which means Obi bought akara at the market. Okay, that's what I want to say. Now, the traditional rule of the grammar, both in English and Igbo, has it that it's not necessarily necessary. It is not important for me to put Obi again in this sentence that I'm creating for you, right? So I can use a pronoun that is a grammatical element that represents a noun. That's a pronoun, right? And then I can say, rather than Obi, I will now say O zụtara akara n'ahịa. Now, my sentence, what am I after teaching my students in the context of what I am talking about? What I'm after is to help you understand, because that is the problem, primary problem. Thank you, Odoze Akuchinwe. The primary problem both Igbo speakers, learners, and teachers have is knowing how to write the sentences in the order, in the rule of the grammar of the language. So my "or" has to stay separate, okay? It has to stay separate. There's no rule that will support "or" being written together here. So I want everybody to please take note of that. My "or" has to be separate. That is one aspect of understanding how the sentence works. And this is me showing you the different components of the sentence. All right. Ugbu a anyị ga-agafe, anyị ga-agbanwe ahịrị a ya oyie ihe ọzọ na-abụghị etu ọ dị. In this sentence, we are looking at the tense as a past. What if I made this sentence and the tense is in the present? That is the next thing I'm going to go to, and then we will see the structure of that too. Now, Obi did not go to market. Obi agaghị ahịa as in the past. But Obi is currently going to the market. Right. Obi na-aga ahịa. Obi na-aga ahịa. Which means Obi is going to the market. Or Obi goes to the market. Now, what am I concerned with this structure? Very simple. The structure has changed from past, gara, went, to present, what Obi is doing currently, which is also, by implication, what Obi does habitually. Ihe Obi na-eme ugbu a, ọ bụ na ọ na-eme ugbu a, ọ na-aga ahịa, ma ọ bụ ihe Obi na-eme, ihe anyị ji mara ya. So this sentence means either that Obi is going to the market as we're speaking, or that Obi is a person who goes to the market either as a business or as a habit. Jaja, you're welcome. Kedo. That is what we saw last week. That's what we are looking at again. So we are seeing Obi here as a person who is currently going to the market, or who goes to the market as a way of life or as part of his job. And I am an Obi guy here. Ogazuta akara. Obi ga-azụta akara. Ọ na ọ gaa ahịa. Okay, right. Now, I want you to look at that. Ndewo, Jaja. Right, I want you to look at how I have changed the structure of my verb to this. And that is also what I am going to talk on. Chidera Ojako, kedo? Chidera Ojako, not Ojako. Kedo? You're welcome. Good to see you. Right. The structure of my verb has changed. And it is this change that I have concern with, because it can easily be misrepresented in the structure of the language. Thank you, Chidera. Ndewo. Ama m na nke a bụ mbụ gị nwa ịbịa ebe a. Daalụ. Anyị na-akụzi ihe Monday niile na Sunday niile. Monday 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And to help you more, you go to Play Store and Apple Store to download the Omenka app. If you are an Igbo learner, if you are also a person who needs the app for a better resource, Omenka app is available for you. Right. So I'm going to walk us through how we can understand why the change and why the change must be the way it is. So, and I'm going to, okay, I will leave it. Ebe a ka anyị kwụsịrị n'izu gara aga, I believe, for those of you who were here last week. And I was saying, this is one way, I hope everybody will still see this again. Naga is us introducing na as auxiliary and introducing a as prefix and this as our verb root. You see the components of our verb now. It is different from the components of the first verb we saw, gara. And gara, which just introduced us to the past tense of the expression or the sentence, right? N'asụsụ Igbo bụ otu mkpụrụ okwu na-arụ ọrụ dịka enyemaka ngwa ma ọ bụ nyemaka ngwa, which is auxiliary. I'm going to write it down. Auxiliary n'Igbo pụtara enyemaka ngwa. Ma ọ bụ nyemaka ngwa. Gịnị ka ọ pụtara bụ enyemaka ngwa ma ọ bụ nyemaka ngwa? The grammatical element that helps the verb function well in such a construction. When the expression mgbe ihe na-ekwu bụ nke ga-anabata enyemaka ngwa, your expression is such that you are going to need to introduce an auxiliary to help the verb work appropriately in that context. You introduce na. But you don't introduce na in any way you like, because there are different na in Igbo. Enwere ụzọ dị iche iche anyị na-eji ede na n'Igbo. You introduce na with a hyphen. If all of you who come to my class every day will, even when you are asleep, when you are dreaming, Jeffrey Bezos, the usefulness of Igbo is it is a language that represents one of the ancient people on earth. And it is the language, one of the oldest languages spoken on planet Earth before anything, before English, before any colonial language. Igbo is one of the ancient languages you may have heard or met. And this is Igbo class, brought to you by Omenka app. And this class is targeted at inculturating all Igbo-born overseas. There are over 2 million Igbo speakers in the United States alone. And Igbo people have contributed immensely to the global civilization in so many different ways. And so their language is important to them, and they cannot value anything over and above their linguistic heritage. All right, Jeffrey, thanks for your question. So you cannot just introduce na any way you like. And I was saying before Jeffrey's question that abuna ndị niile na-abịa class here, if you all can get to the point of the knowledge of this concept I teach, that you can know it while you are asleep, while you are being woken up. If you can know it, you have solved one big problem that we are facing in Igbo language. It is here. Thank you, Useku Foods. Thank you, VGZ. Oh, Gimwabu Chidera. Thank you. And Jaja for lending your voices. All right. So let's go back. Now, I also want you to notice how I introduce the na as auxiliary. Because the language arbitrarily demands that you're going to introduce auxiliary to represent the action of Obi in the present. You don't introduce it without introducing another element, which is the prefix. Prefix kana or nganiru. Nganiru. Something that goes before another, or that goes before the verb, because it's only in the verb that it works. So the a that we have here helps us to now pronounce the verb root, nganiru, because the verb permits, the verb takes up lots of grammatical elements to build itself up to be suitable for any sentence construction that you want to make. That's what the verb does. The verb is like English language that borrows everything from everywhere. And when they borrow, they put it into their dictionary and it becomes English word. That's what the verb is. The verb does not go into a sentence without equipping herself, putting on certain colors or colorations, certain elements that will make it suitable for that particular construction you want to make. So that is why we have a as nganiru, which is prefix. And then we have the verb. You see the environment that I put here. That is the environment that suggests that it takes something. A, and then ga as the verb roots. Okay? Right. We have created a sentence that suggests the action of will be in the present. That is what we did now. Good. And I'm going to come back to Obi and what Obi did or what he is doing, okay? Ihe Obi na-eme, Obi na-aga ahịa. Ugbu a ọ na-aga ahịa, or Obi bụ nwoke na-aga ahịa, okay? Okay, where's my... I'm going to go back here. Aka chọrọ m ịgbanwe ahịrị anyị. Thank you, Useku Foods. I still want to go ahead and change the sentence. It is still going to be a simple sentence. Ọ ka ga-abụ ahịrị mfe. Pretty Vixen, Dalu. You came late. Pretty Vixen, kedu? Ndewo, Ekwenugo Precious, Dalo. Ndewo, good to see you. Yeah, Hermes. Ndewo, Igbo Amaka. Thank you. All right. So, agajem igbanwe ahịrị ko ye ihe ọzọ. Okay, I'm going to now change the sentence. It is going to still assume the same simplicity in characteristic, but it's going to give us a different sense. You know why what we're doing is so important and why I put all my energy doing this? It is because this is what we do in everyday life. Whether you are speaking in Igbo, you are speaking in English, you as a speaker unconsciously or subconsciously navigate through different constructions, grammatical constructions, without applying any strength of knowledge to begin to calculate if what you said is in the right order or not. It is us who go to what you say to know if they are in the right order of the grammar of that language. I know that for so many of you, you understand me more when I speak English. So, so beke unu na akromaka. Thank you, Chidera. So, na-agbopụ grammar niile m na-agbọ. Unu na-akromaka o. Ndewonu. Jaja. Hey, unu mara English bụ language asụsụ ghasara aghasa. All right, so Hermes, I'm going to pause to correct you, and I would like you to correct yourself in what you wrote. And I'm going to write it here. Hermes wrote Nsobadiro, and this is what he wrote. All right, it is because I am a professor and a fluent Igbo speaker that I was able to read what you wrote, but what you wrote, it is completely not Igbo. Okay? Right. The correct way of writing what you wrote, number one, Usekufuza has helped us do that, which is Nsobade as a standard way of writing. Nsobu Ade. The reason I will not write Adero for you is because it is a dialect, and we do not encourage the writing of dialects. You can speak your dialect. I say it time and time over in my class. You can speak your dialect, but when you want to write, learn how to write in the standard. The reason is simple. You cannot write English and write either Pidgin English or write Ebonics and write any other English when you are writing officially. You have to write the standard. If the standard is American standard, that's what you're writing. If the standard is British standard, that's what you're writing. But you can bear me witness that both standards do not have lots of differences except for the vocabulary choice. So Igbo is not different. Igbo cannot be a language where everybody will write their dialects and put them out there. What we end up doing is creating a confusion. So that is why I did not write Nsobadero. Even though if I was to write Nsobadero, what I would have done is to remove this and write Adero. But I don't encourage you writing that. You can speak it, it's your dialect. Okay? But we don't write that way in the standard when we are representing our language in the standard form. Right. Every language has dialects. Igbo is one of them. Yoruba has, English has. But every language that has a dialect, that has a standard form, project their standard form in literature. So when we are writing on social media, is as good as we are writing literature. And then you don't write your dialect in literature, even though you might have some interference of your dialect sometimes. Thank you for the donuts. I think I really am hungry for more donuts. Thank you, Seku Foods. More donuts. For those of you that just joined, thank you so much. Thank you. Check our goal and please encourage us and share the live as you go ahead. All right. So Hermes, I hope you've taken correction. Thank you for that. This is how you write it in Sobadero. Thank you so much, Eri. Appreciate you. And I have to make sure that I wrote them correctly. All right, Hermes. Okay. So Agajem Ideari Ahịrịokwu. Thank you again, Hermes. Thanks for the heart. Appreciate you. Chukwu gọzie gị. Now, dịka anyị na-ede, we have seen negation, my darling sister, Jaja. Jaja is one of the oldest students I have here. In fact, Jaja has been made the class prefect from today. So everybody should be respecting her. And Jaja, you should be writing noisemakers in the class. That's the way it should be, right? Kanayochi, my brother, Kedo, it's good to have you. Yeah. So Jaja, our class prefect na TikTok. So no gonna hear and sopro. When she says stop talking, you know that if you don't stop talking, she will write your name on the list of noisemakers. Those of you that are millennial and Jay-Z that did not go to school back home, you will not understand what we're talking about. We write names of noisemakers in the class. You understand, Hermes? Fine. You can't just be in the class and be ta. Prefect or monitor, that's the two names. They will write your name and they will send it to the teacher. You know, that's disciplinary master. And then they will take you to the staff room and then, you know, treat your your nonsense there. So whenever you come to learn, know that Jaja is here and she will write your name if you make too much noise. See, pretty vexed that her name will always come up. And over true, there are those whose names appear on that book every day. You know, not all of us are that quiet. So, and when you come to school, it's a place to really express yourself amongst your mates. But unfortunately, there's rule. You know, there's time for everything. Just like we are learning the rules of our language in terms of writing and speaking. That's what we're doing here, helping us to understand the rule, helping us to keep the rule when we are speaking and when we are writing. Okay, so that we don't write va. Can I say we go buy the mango like normal, then come out? You see, we have rivalry and corruption began. So can I you could go buy the money to mango, then come out your name. So where we went to school is more that is a running thing during break. So what I call an eribe more men a break. In fact, I got a break. You will not be happy that day. Yeah, granuts, yes, but moi, you can. Yes, Jaja is a class captain now. You can't do without moi during the break. You just go and akara for that man, you know man akara na moi one day. So you also go to go for break to eat moi and the rest of that. So it's Zora monitor moi only came up again names of noisemakers. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow, if you make noise, that she will not write your name, or she'll still write your name for that day as well. All right. So We're going to write, thank you, Nechi. Thank you for the thunder and lightning. It energizes the spirit of the class. Ndewo. Nechi, kedu ihe bụ ezigbo aha gị? I know that Nechi is your TikTok name. Let me know. All right, we're going to write Obi Gaga Ahịa. And I'm going to explain this briefly. So here now is Obi will go to the market. Okay, Bikono. If it takes, okay, Kenechi. All right. Travel. Are you just joining? It's good to see you. Ndewo. Right. Travel, the only way that would translate Obi is going to the market will be Obi. It is not the proper translation of it. Okay. It will confuse us with Obi is going to the market, I already say. So Obi will go to the market. It does not matter whether we put Echi tomorrow or later or no. It is a complete sense right now, okay? So Obi will go to the market. That is Obi Gaga here. And again, I was trying to say this. I do not mind repeating this concept again and again and again, except that it could bore both me and you, okay? It could be boring, but I want us to understand the essence of what you are here doing. If this is your first time, you are new to my class, you've attended twice or so, you need to understand that we are doing this to set the records straight. Teaching you, helping you to learn Igbo, correct. Helping you to learn how to speak, correct. Helping you to know how to write, check. But much more importantly, setting the records straight so that we all begin to learn how to correct our mistakes by ourselves. Thank you for the necklace, Useku Foods. Thank you. Travel. Ahia is a standard. Afia is the dialect. Okay? Ahia is a standard. Right. If you speak Afia, it's okay. Speak your dialect. But when writing, you write Ahia. Okay. So, what am I saying? Look at the concept again when we introduce auxiliary in the future. Thank you, Useku Foods. Auxiliary in the future is ga, and it takes the method or the rule that guides na is the rule that guides ga. That is, I did not introduce ga any way I like. Edeyemia deya otablo siri som mba. Asụsụ Igbo chọrọ ka mgbe ọbụla ị na-ede ya dịka enyemaka ngwa ma ọ bụ enyemaka ngwa ị ga-ede ya tinye ya akara uhie. I did not explain that. I did not explain the akara uhie, which is what's it called? Hyphen. Oh, hyphen, or you can even say dash. It is akara uhie. Uhie. So I cannot introduce this or this to this simple sentence without putting this. Neither can I introduce either of them without putting this. Why? That is how the language works. If you write it any other way than this, it is wrong, incorrect. The prefix is this, Hermes. It is a, this is a prefix. That's what we explained before you came in. Okay. If you represent this in any other form, it is wrong and not acceptable in the language at all. Why am I saying this? I have tried to help some people learn when they incorrectly write a concept like this. They say, well, it's the same thing. No, it is not the same thing. Your language, as someone aga abụọ anabataghị ka ide nyemaka ngwa n'ụzọ ọzọ na-abụghị ụzọ anyị si dee ya, ma ọ bụ nyemaka ngwa nke na-ekwu okwu maka ihe mmadụ na-eme ugbu a, ma ọ bụ nyemaka ngwa nke na-ekwu maka ihe mmadụ ga-eme n'ọbịanihu, dịka na Obi na-aga ahịa ugbu a na Obi ga-aga ahịa mgbe na-adịghị anya. Mgbe ọbụla ị na-ede ya otu a, ọ ga-enwe akara uhie, nwekwa nganiru. Ọ ga-enwe akara uhie, nwekwa nganiru. It is going to have a prefix. It is going to have a hyphen. Okay? Right. We have established this. And then I'm going to say, now that we have established this, na and ga are two auxiliary verbs in the Igbo language, and they depict the present and the future. Two auxiliary verbs. You know that in English you have auxiliary verbs like will, shall, might, would, lots of them. But you will also have auxiliary verb where is is, which is a typical verb, will now serve as auxiliary. When you have is going to, is auxiliary. Going now becomes the verb. In Igbo, we have two. Na, ga. Both of them see themselves in lots of different constructions that will make every day that we are required to subconsciously know that auxiliary is in this construction. It does not have to be written anywhere else than this. This is one of the reasons I'm teaching this class that you see. So if you are just joining or today is the first time, I want you to know this. Know it because whether you are a learner, you're learning how to speak, you need also to learn how to write. If not for anything, for the pleasure of it. And when you when you are able to speak and you cannot write, it will be difficult for you to read what other people wrote. But if you learn how to speak and are able to understand the basic rules guiding the writing of it, you will be able to read what other people wrote. Na Omenka app, why we added audio to almost everything we have on the app. But you see, there are also stories of people's historical life, Igbo, that you're going to read, that you're going to listen to, that you're going to watch as a video. So that is why Omenka app will find it as a very useful resource for learning Igbo language. Okay, so if you're joining, Darius, Osama, and the rest of you that joined out now, Sunshinez, go to Play Store, go to Apple Store, and download the Omenka app. Heaven on earth, the same. We welcome you all. Questions. If you have a question, please ask me now. Right. Okay. We have seen the Obi, the action of Obi in three different senses. The first action was past. Obi's action was in the past. Ihe o mere bụ nke o mere mgbe gara aga. Obi's action is in the present, nke bụ ọ na-eme ya ugbu a, na-aga, or what he does habitually. The next action is in the future. Okay? I want to introduce another sense in the construction that we're looking at. Remember, ihe anyị na-ele anya bụ simple Igbo sentence. And we're using singular subject and singular action to depict a simple sentence in Igbo. There's no room to bore you with different examples other than what we're doing, and to apply it. Venextesi, Dalo, Ndewo. You're welcome. Right, we're going to go to the next sense in our construction. Thank you for the cake. Appreciate it so much. Now, so I was hungry for donuts and now I get cake. I think that is double ration. I need more cake though. I need more donuts still. And I need more gifts. I need more taps on the screen if you know you are learning from this class. And I appreciate all of you that have been doing this. In the YouTube, unu gbara nkịtị today, unu anaghị ekwu okwu. All right, so appreciate you. So for those of you that are joining us for today, this class streams every Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We are on TikTok and YouTube. Okay, and we also stream on Sunday, 5:30 p.m. and you will always find us here. We are Omenka app. We are only concentrated on the preservation of Igbo language. We must preserve our language and keep it for generations to come. Igbo, just like I explained to the guy that wanted to gaslight us with his question, Igbo is one of the most ancient languages on earth. Thank you for the cake. Igbo people are one of the most ancient people, the oldest people on earth. So if you did not know that, know it. We are significant in the world. We have contributed so much to the world's civilization, to the global civilization. We are not insignificant. It doesn't matter how much they want to beat us down. So for those of you who are young people, you are not, thank you. Thank you for the, is that yogurt? No, ice cream. So wherever we are, we show what we are made of. We contribute to community development. We contribute to the economy of the country, the society, and all of that. We are so useful in our global space. So our language should as well be that useful and very significant. So if you are an Igbo born, if you do not have a command of your language, this is a place for you. It might sound or might look technical to you, but you find out that when we break it down, we are going to the nitty-gritty. We're going to the minimum basic of the language. But the difference between what we are doing and what you might find elsewhere is we're looking at both the speaking and the writing, making sure we harmonize, making sure they are all correct. So keep tapping on the screen for us. It helps, it encourages, it improves the algorithm of our class. And then I make Kelendi Nilene Mota Chukwugoziono. I see your hands. All right. So we are introducing the fourth, I believe. The fourth now is Obi Anai Aga Ahịa. Which is Obi does not go to the markets. Okay, I'm going to clean it. If you're writing it, hold on. Obi agaghị Obi agaghị ahịa. Agaghị ahịa. That is, Obi did not go to the market, right? Now, I introduce this guy, the suffix. Some of you, in our class, you've been coming to my class, you know we've been dealing with this, right? The suffix. The only negation in the standard, in the past, for Igbo language constructions is re, agai. Ndewo, Odozi Akuroz. Dalo. Obi agaghị ahịa. Obi agaghị ahịa. Obi did not go to the market. And the only way we can represent it accurately is by putting this suffix. Okay? And when you have an answer, right? I know everybody knows this, whether you are a learner or you are a speaker, a fluent speaker. Good. And we know that a tense that applies to this is what? Past. Obi emeghị. Obi didn't do it. Okay? And it is in the simple past. It is something that Obi did not do. So let us not accuse Obi of doing it. Okay? That's kind of the sense in it. Then I can say Obi anaghị aga ahịa, which now means Obi does not go to the market. Obi anaghị aga ahịa. So that Obi we saw as a person who goes to the market, we are now representing him as a person who does not go to the market. Okay? And I want you to look at this, how the construction comes in. Asụsụ Igbo hụrụ ya na mgbe anyị na-ede ihe mmadụ emeghị in the simple past, we bring in re. This is one sound, which is represented as GH. Re, there yana E mob E. Okay? So that is what gives us the past, simple past. D Mira, how are you? It's good to see you. All right, so that is a simple what? Past. Now, when I change it to what Obi does not do, I want you to also notice this. Anaghị aga. And in my anaghị aga, I make the auxiliary look like the main verb. That is how the language works. The auxiliary will not take the structure of the main verb, because this is the main verb, right? Anaghị aga. And how did I make that work? Look at the prefix that is found here is here. The suffix that is found here is here. But our main verb also has a prefix. That is how the language works. Right. Koro no asụsụ Igbo aka. This is deep. Okay? And when you look at the concept of what we speak as a language that our forefathers left for us, thank you, Jaja. you begin to look at the sense, the intelligence that is invested into our language, the structure, how everything is organized. To some people, it might be, oh, Igbo rara ahụ ọmụmụ. Igbo is one of the hardest. In fact, Igbo is so hard. That is I would say, okay, let me use the Nigerian language. Now wash. Yabo ajambele is an excuse that does not hold waters. It's an excuse that does not help you who are using that expression. Igbo rara ahụ nnukwu. Yes, even if not rara ahụ, it is your language. You need to make effort to learn it. But if you go into learning it, you find out that everything is organized in a structure that is required for you to obey. All you need is to find the formula. Chikandi Unfiltered, I did not get your question. He said, how to teach children? Can you rephrase your question? Welcome in the first place. Okay, so you find out that, first of all, what you are being guided by are rules, the grammatical rules of the language. Anyị mara na mgbe ọbụla enwere iwu, enwere ndị na-adapụkarị n'iwu, right? But the majority of the constructions follow the rules, the guidelines. When you understand the formula of the rules, you are good. You would be asleep and be writing Igbo. Kedu nke ka mma? So Chinwe, ị ga-eme ka mara ihe ị na-ekwu, or which one? Maybe I think you say writing. Yeah, so you find out that the rules na gịnị ka ha nyere m na YouTube biko nụ. Ekwelugo Precious, gịnị ka ị nyere m ihe a? Ihe a wee bụ igwe ka ọ gịnị? Okay, so the rule that applies to our negation, ihe obi na-emeghị, in the simple past, is that we introduce re dịka nsonaazụ suffix, right? When the structure of the sentence has to change to ihe obi anaghị eme, what obi does not do, you find out that this construction will not assume like it will become the auxiliary. And then our verb takes a slightly different shape. Still the same formula. This aspect now, ọ na-abara uru karịa, ndị ọ na-abara uru karịa bụ ndị nkuzi. Okay, rara ahụ na hịara ahụ, they are the same thing. You can say ọ hịara ahụ, you can say ọra. I think the standard Igbo accepts both of them. Oh, mic telephone kwa. Ndewo. All right, thank you. All right, she said I should loud it. And let me say, thank you. All right, so please, when you are learning Igbo, especially if you are amongst those who are learning to speak, you are here. Do not be listening to the lies, saying, oh, Igbo is too difficult. You are a Igbo born rather. Even if it is the most difficult, it is still your language, and you're going to have to learn it. Our Igbo is too difficult. How do you compare the difficulty of Igbo with the confusion of English in terms of the grammar? Even the confusion in terms of the vocabulary. How do you compare the two? Okay? Because you do not know the reason why according to the grammar of the language, the past tense of come should not be comed. They ended up saying is came. You do not know why you should say sing in the present, sang in the past, and sung in the past participle, which is something that several different English speakers do not obey, do not even know. That the past participle of sing in English is sung, S-U-N-G. The same applies to ring, rang, and rung. And you see people say, I have sung the song. Oh, they have finished, they have sung the song already before you came. The bell has rang. And these are Ajibo people who speak touched up English and all of that. They are not able to follow because it doesn't sound sweet in the ear. It doesn't even make sense. They say song. So when you are listening to the lie that Igbo Raraho, please check English first before you conclude. But I encourage you. This is how it works. We're going to go to the next sense that we introduced, which is the future. Now, Obi agaghị aga ahịa, and we know that it is Obi will not go to the market. Just like we saw in Anai, the structure is the same in Agai in the future. Is the same. Okay? It does not change. The only difference is na and ga here that we'll see. All right. Obi agai aga ahia. Here, agai is a auxiliary. Aga has become the verb root. And that's how the language works. Right? That's how the language works. All right. We have said a lot that Obi is doing or is not doing. And we have used this to show ourselves an example of what a simple sentence means and how you can write a simple sentence that depicts action. Okay? Obi is giving us that. We have had a class here where we discuss our Igbo last names. And I want to remind those who were not there, our last names are mostly sentences. But when we want to write them, we write them as one word, as name. That is true. And our last names in that class, we talked about how our last names are disappearing. And that was how I also shared with you the meaning of my last name. And we encourage you, if you do not know the meaning of your last name, Biko, gaa jụọ nne gị na nna gị, gaa jụọ ndị mụrụ gị, gịnị ka aha nna m pụtara? Even your Igbo first name. Ọ bụ na ị maghị ya, ask your parents, what is the meaning of my name, my first name? The reason is because we name according to significant events that happened in our lives. And these fall under sentences. Okay? All right. Okay, let me go back to the other structure that is also one of the problems we are facing in writing Igbo language, which is the structure of the pronoun, which I mentioned earlier. So we now know that Obi is all in this sentence, all garahia. We know who we're talking about. We now know that we can now say Ogayahia. Or we can say Onai aga ahia, or Ọ gaghị aga ahịa. And achọrọ m ka ile anya na board nke ọma. Look at it that we have all our pronouns written separate. There's no way I wrote it together. Whether it is in the past, simple past, or it is in the simple negation, or in the future, present negation, future negation. All of them, I wrote my pronoun apart. Okay? Now, this is a situation whereby I'm talking to you about a person me and you know about, which is Obi, who did not go to the market, right? He did not go to the market. He does not go to the market. He will not be going to the market. They are all here. What if I am talking about you now, who are in my class, okay? And I want to use you as an example. We are no longer talking about Obi. And let me use our class prefect. Jaja, our sister, is a person that we're looking at. She went to the market. And we're going to say, because I'm talking to you, Jaja, I gara ahịa. On the other sense, I gaghị ahịa. Still on the other sense, I naghị aga ahịa. And lastly, I gaghị ahịa. I gaghị aga ahịa. Okay? Good. This is a situation where I know that all of us know what to do, like how to write it, right? It does not take anybody anything to write I gara ahịa. But you find out that I have corrected a couple of people in the class today who wrote emailer either this way or this way. The concept of what I wrote here is what applies to emailer. But you find out that ọtụtụ mgbe, ọtụtụ ụmụafọ Igbo na-ede emailer dekọta ya ọnụ. And you find out that it is wrong, right? Good. Now, for those that know how to write a little bit, think this is simple, yes. But it is as simple as it is always misrepresented. Just like you see here now. So this is our second person pronoun, right? The person we are talking with. And I'm going to introduce the last one again, which is what led us where we started here in this class. Okay, thank you for the donut. Thank you, the Chocomilo. Oh my God. The Chocomilo email. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. All right. So me and you and all of us in the class, we know Obi. There's no situation that will make emailer to be written together like somebody asked. There's no situation that will make you to write this. There's no acceptability to it. It must be written apart because it's a pronoun. The E is a pronoun. Okay? Right. Now, you, me, and all of us in the class, we know Obi, right? Yes, I know everyone now knows Obi. But if and when Obi is a person we do not know, but he took an action that we know, And that comes in a situation that I have explained several in my class. Let's say in this class now, we know that we are talking about going to the market and we are expecting somebody to go to the market. Eventually, somebody went to the market, but we don't know who did. We will change the way we write it. It will now become a gara ahịa, a gaghị ahịa, a anaghị aga ahịa, a gaghị aga ahịa. There's no time I'm going to write it together, and nothing supports that in Igbo grammar. So the a that we see is telling us about that person we do not know, but we know what they did. Because that action has been taken, all of us are cognizant of it, but we do not know who took the action. That is when we bring the a. We have seen a lot of this sample or example in my class. I'm going to see more of it as we go on in treating both the simple and the complex sentences. But these are the basics. When we begin to talk about sentences, we are forming the basis of that will help us to understand how Igbo sentence works. Mgbe ọbụla ị matara ka esi edesa mkpụrụ okwu ndị ekwesịrị idesa, mara ka esi edekọta ndị ekwesịrị idekọta, you are on your way to becoming an expert in Igbo. In the next class, we are going to see a little bit about this, but also we're going to see where we have this guy come in, but in a different form in the sentence, and the sense it will project when we see that happen. That's what we're going to see. Okay, so it is a pleasure having you in this class today. And the next class is going to be, yes, it is neutral, Jaja. This is the neutral guy. We don't know who it is. Our concern in a construction like this is the action and not the subject or the person. The reason is because we don't know this guy. We don't know who he is. You see, progressively, I introduce us to Obi as a person we know. Thank you, the Chocomilo. I brought in Obi to us, and we all recognize Obi, and we also started knowing what Obi does or did or will do. So when I put Obi out of the equation and also brought in a person that I know that I'm talking about, thank you, Sekufut, I also showed us how it is written. But now we graduated into a person that is neutral, that we do not know. We don't know if he's a man or woman or in between. But we're concerned about their action. That's where we ended today's class. And next class is going to be next Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time for this grammar. For my other class, it happens on Sundays, 5:30 p.m. And na class ahụ, thank you so much. Mụ na ụmụ akwụkwọ na-agụ akwụkwọ nke a na-akpọ Akarachi, Dalo Jaja. Thank you so much. So I also invite you to my Sunday classes, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's read Igbo book together and use the Igbo book to understand. Thank you so much. Love Trish V. Thank you for the heart. Yesterday, my class was extremely, let me use the word, sweet. It was very, very rich. N'ihi gịnị, anyị bidoro ịgụ akwụkwọ. We went into the act. We just said act 1, scene 3, because it was about scene 3 we were going into. And we looked at the setting. Thank you, Love Trish. And the setting took us away from reading the book. And what we did for 2 hours was talking about the setting of that particular act. And why was that? It introduced us to a concept that my students, many of them do not know, which is the concept of nkwụ maọbụ akwụ, the palm, nkwụ maọbụ akwụ. Nkwụ could be palm tree, it could be palm tree or palm nuts. So that became our lesson for yesterday, and it was so rich. We had to explore everything about the palm, beginning from the tree to the nuts, to the fiber, to the oil, to the kernel, and all of that. We ended up not reading that act and saying yesterday. And that is the method I teach with in that class. Yes, love, Trish. I'm glad you were in that class, and I'm glad you came today as well. But today you did not come early. So, ụmụafọ Igbo, unu emeela wee sonyere anyị na ihe ọmụmụ nke ụbọchị taa. For those of you that have more questions, you can DM me on, the TikTok platform or YouTube. It's okay. If you need additional help than what we are doing here, let us know. But please, do not fail to download the Omenka app and do not fail to use it. More works are coming into the app. We are still working, and we are getting the app where it is supposed to be. Now, I have about 3 minutes to go, and I want to make a special request. Get me 5,000 likes and get us to 50,000 in the next 3 minutes. That's all I ask for. YouTube is flowing. Chukwu gozie gị nne Precious. Daalụ Odoziakụ Chinwe. Mgbe na-adịghị anya dịka m na-ekwu, we are going to be reading, creating videos, reading the Igbo books that I read for JAM and WAEC. I am so excited about that series we are starting. And it is going to be awesome, but it's not going to be live all the time. It will be videos I will be producing for those that are doing WAEC, SSCE, and JAM. We will be helping them to solve the past questions. And that will be something beautiful. All right, want to get to 50,000 likes today. And I request that everybody please get us to 50,000 while we round off in the next 2 minutes. Of course, last week we did much better, and that is why we are, reminding us why the class is going on. To please let us help promote the class. For those of you that do not know, if you promote this class, it will reach out to more Igbo children born overseas like you, more Igbo sons and daughters growing up overseas who do not know their language. You are helping to connect them. It is not easy for you to come here and spend 2 hours, or those that spend just about an hour learning. It is important that while you learn, please help other people that you know, your friends, your contacts. Share the class with them. Tell them about what we are doing here. Tell them about Omenka app. The reason is because if we are going to preserve our language for real, we're not only going to achieve that. Even in the next 100 years, we can't. Okay? Thank you, lady. It has to be a collective effort. And that collective effort begins in this class. You have a role to play. So many of you are using your resources to give gifts, cake, necklace, donuts, chin chin, buns. They're all appreciated. You know, some of you join the class and also keep tapping, but I need all of us to be conscious of this. Okay. Thank you, Frisch. And beautiful. Yeah. Your 3-year-old, if you learn here, you teach them gradually. But if you are teaching them wrongly, that becomes what they will pick up, which is not right. Okay, so we mothers and fathers, we have a lot of work to do. If not, our children will lose them. Okay, so a lot of Igbo families that are living overseas are beginning to question themselves: is this a benefit or a loss? Because when you see your child growing up and they have nothing that connects them to their cultural roots, it is bad. Even when you give them Igbo name, they themselves don't even know how to pronounce their Igbo name. Onabawobi. Okay? And if you are that a parent, you now become a first generation parent who does not speak Igbo fluently. You now imagine the second generation of you. What will happen to them? So that's why we need this badly. We need these efforts, just like we need our breath. So I encourage us. Beautiful Duchess Helen. Ndewo. Ya bụ na ị ga-ama ka esi asụ karịa ndị ọzọ. Then you need to you need to now improve in learning how to write and write correctly. And again, I must say, some of us that learned Igbo as from our dialects, it's also important to begin to acquire the Igbo of the standard or the central Igbo so that it will blend and all of that. So please, this is the right place for us to be. If we can spend 2 hours, which we saw we spend here twice every week to learn, it becomes something. I must say, as a final word, we are all Christians and we all get involved in scriptural knowledge just because we were born into it. And the parents did not just leave us, oh, you are born a Christian and that's it. No. Remember how you were taken to church. If you are a Catholic, remember how you do catechism, right? Yeah, there's a difference in standards and centralized Igbo. Okay, you are from Ohoho. Okay, that means you speak the central as well. Oho dialect is found among the central Igbo, which is good. So you find out that, thank you, Precious. We picked up continuing to profess, oh, we are Christians, and just because we have spent all the days of our life learning how to be Christians. Beautiful. You're good then, Helen. So it is a conscious effort of, reading your Bible, going to church and doing catechism. That is why it seems that that's part of you. Even when you have become a staunch one, you cannot do whatever you like. So our Igbo, going back to enculturate ourselves and our children, requires that kind of effort. Enculturation means you go back into dipping yourself into it. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you for taking us to 51,000 likes today. We expect to do better in the next class. I invite you on Sunday in my class, and then on Monday too. All right. Thank you, Choma. Beautiful. It's good to have you here as well. Thank you. See you all on Sunday and on Monday next week. Bye. All right. Ndị YouTube, ndị ngam, daalụkwanụ. Let's end this.